Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person, sponsored as always by the Precision Strip Company in Minster. A great place to work whether you're starting, changing, or finishing your career. They're always looking for good people. They might be looking for you. Stop by, check them out, or check them out online. Again, sponsors of First Person on PressProsMagazine.com. We are on the threshold of tournament basketball here at the beginning of February. We saw some tremendous games last week. Ray Zawadzki, coach of the Troy Christian Eagles, was involved with a couple of them.
Yeah.
And by the way, Ray, I checked back 10 years ago, almost to the date. We did this on First Person. Back when we were doing it with film, I had no gray hair.
I probably had more hair.
You had more hair. We both
Yeah,
looked a little younger.
That's right.
But I appreciate every 10 years you've given me 8 minutes to do this.
Sure. No, I appreciate you coming, and it's good to see you and be involved. You do so much for the high school athletics. It's just a great. You're just great.
It's just we do what we like to do.
That's right.
You and I both.
That's right. You're 30 for me, so I love basketball.
Hey, listen, let's talk a little bit about the area basketball. And I just
Yeah.
told you before we push the button here to go on that it appears to me that year in and year out, before we talk about your team specifically,
Yeah.
that Division IV basketball, Division III and IV,
Yeah.
is again the most compelling basketball in the Upper Miami Valley and West Central Ohio when you consider yourself and you consider Troy Christian, Jackson Center, the Rushis, the Marion Locals.
Yeah. Oh.
Why do you think that is, that the small schools, it isn't just football, but why do you think that is?
Well, I think one reason is you've got continuity in the coaching positions. Those schools you said, Marion Local's got the same coach. Jackson Center has the same coach. Fort Lorame's committed to Corey there, and Rushy, their situation, but they're still in the family. I mean, Spencer's been there throughout.
His second tenure.
Yeah, right. So I think, and I'm here in this year 14 for me. So I think when you start getting small schools that commit to continuity, you're going to just have good basketball because you're able to establish your programs and your identity, whether it's going to be offensively, defensively, whatever the culture is, you're able to make it happen. And then the support you get from school, and the community, and just the administration helps out immensely.
This is like our 6th or 7th week of looking at area basketball. You've been playing since early December, of course, and we had to get through the end of the football playoffs before we got started and got into it. But it appears again, another point, like it's taken 6 weeks to really get tuned up in basketball, where we're seeing the kind of games we've seen for the last 2 weeks, and we've seen some real gym busters.
Well, you saw us at Rushy in early December.
Yeah.
We're a whole different team now.
And I saw last week in Miami East.
Right, so you see the transformation that's occurred on our team. And I think, with the football playoffs, our kids had soccer all the way to the Elite Eight, and so there's a couple of days I was practicing with just 3 kids because the others were all playing soccer. So we really didn't get a lot of time with them of education and teaching in the early stages. Back when I grew up, you were practicing in October, and you didn't play until the end of November or early December, so you had extra time. So I think that's a lot of it, Sonny, but the transformation of basketball, it's fun to watch teams grow, and we're not the only one that's gotten better. There's a lot of others out there that are continuing to get
But I think there is something relevant to the argument that people make that it takes you, football conditioning is a world apart from basketball conditioning, and I think we're seeing that now. Shooting is improving even at the foul line. I think percentages are up, and kids are just more in that mindset now of how to execute basketball over football.
Well, and so you got to throw soccer in there too, but soccer's a different.
It is football in Europe.
Well, that's true. Yeah, no, you're right. I think it's just one of those things where the more time you put into something, the better you're going to be at it. We talk to the kids about that all the time. Those that want to be good will put this much in. Those that want to be great will put extra in. And it's just how much do the kids want it, and you keep challenging them to grow not only on the court but off. And it's just one of those things that we've seen an increase. We're shooting over 40% as a team from 3, and we were over 70 at free throws. We kind of dropped a little to 68, but we're just quality shots and more reps of shooting in practice. We've just gotten better at it.
We saw you last week, and we also published a piece last week called the 6 best boys teams that we've personally seen. I know you must have read that.
Yeah.
I think there were probably some people at Miami East that said, hey, wait a minute, we're the #1 team in the state, and I think we may have had you a notch ahead of Miami East.
Oh, I don't think so.
In that
No.
particular column. I don't know.
Well, you
but-
shouldn't have.
But very close.
Right,
But very
right.
close there. And, ironically, you go out last week and prove us correct for the fact that you do deserve that type of respect with 2 tremendous wins. One over Tri-Village, which is a perennial power here in Division 4, and then just a tremendous game on Friday night over at Miami East to win that game 53-48.
Yeah, both those games are on the road. Says a lot about our kids and the belief in what we're doing. But no, the Miami East, we got a good little rivalry going. It's funny, like the last 2 times they beat me at my gym, but I beat them 2 times at their gym. So it's they're a tough out. They're a very quality basketball team. I was very excited for the kids, and I know they were excited. They executed a game plan to almost perfection, both offensively and defensively, and it was good for our school.
I want to give credits, too, to the culture of basketball there and here because you didn't have a lot of security in the gym. You didn't have squad cars outside. It was just a good place to be. It was an exciting place to be.
Exactly.
What a tremendous atmosphere.
Yeah, we're so blessed to be in the TRC, to get these rivalry games going like this, and to, when you get a sold out gym and you got student bodies chanting back at other student bodies. I mean, that's real high school basketball the way I remember it as a kid growing up. Like, the memories that our kids will be able to take away from this is just something special.
Ray Zawadzki from Troy Christian High School, our guest this week on First Person. I want to talk a little bit more about your team right now. Parker Penrod, who we've touted on Press Pros repeatedly as one of the 2 or 3 best backcourt players we've seen all year. Only scored 6 points the other night, but he was I know he's had some physical issues, but he was so much a part of that with only 6 points. Ironically, Frank Rupnick had a big night for you, and Alex Free had 15 points.
Sure.
And yet they couldn't have done it without Parker Penrod. Good guards.
Well, you said it exactly right. This is, we've been playing a lot. I've 30 years of basketball, right? This team right now protects the basketball better than any team I've ever had. We are averaging under 10 turnovers per game. And one of the biggest reasons is because of number 3, Parker Penrod. He controls the game each and every night out. Even though he had a bad ankle on Friday, he gutted through it and was able to still get our team into everything that we needed him to do, was directing them from a leadership standpoint on defense, and really did a good job. And then what has happened right before our eyes is we've seen Frank, 6'6", just grow into his body. And he isn't done. Right now he's become a defensive force. And so the offense is still going to be coming. I mean, he is averaging double figures, but there's still another level that he's going to go to. And then Alex Free is just, for high school, you just don't find athletes like him that will get you 15 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists.
And what a difference in the way he's grown up physically and mentally. And
yeah,
just from last year, we talked about that before.
You can see it
before we turned on the camera. A couple of last things. People used to talk about your schedule. Yeah, you could say this is the best we've ever protected the ball because of who you're playing.
Yeah.
Now, when you can do it against the Miami East, the #1 team in Division 3, makes a whole difference in terms of competition.
Yeah, the Martin RPI index comes out with a strength of schedule, and for Division 4, we have the 5th hardest schedule in Division 4. So we consider that just a huge compliment to our kids for being able to handle each night out. Everybody that we play is a quality opponent, and it doesn't get any easier from here.
Not going to get any easier, and I will close with this. This looks like another tremendous Division 3 and 4 area tournament, sectional, district, regional, right through to the state tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun next month.
You look at it, Jackson Center and Russia
and
Fort Laramie and Botkins, all just in Piqua, and Lehman, who's a very strong team, and then obviously Bradford lost their player, but in Troy you've got us, and Springfield Central Catholic at 13-5, and Cedarville at 14-4, and down in Cincinnati we've got Cincinnati Christian 16-2, and Riverview East 17-1, and Fayetteville Perry. So there are a lot of quality teams in Division 4. Yeah, we're excited for tournament basketball, but we got to first try to figure out how to get that league conference title.
I'm excited to watch you. First and foremost, excited to watch you. Always fun to talk basketball with you.
Thank you.
Great to see your dad the other night. just great. The basketball is always better when Ray Senior's in the gym.
Yeah, it's life is changing, and it's going to change for all of us. And he's at a different stage right now, bound to the wheelchair, and we do everything we can to get him there. And my kids show great respect for him, and they'll give him, fist bumps before and after the games. And he's a very important part to me and to this team.
I still like a good Tom Blackburn story.
He will give you one.
Ray, thanks for the time.
Thank
Always,
you.
always.
Yeah, appreciate it.
That wraps up this edition of First Person. Again, sponsored by the Precision Strip Company in Minster, Ohio. Again, a great place to work whether you're starting out, changing, or finishing a career. Give them a call. Our thanks again to Ray Zawadzki and Troy Christian for having us this week. And again, our thanks to you for your support of everything that we do on PressProsMagazine.com. Until next time, have a great sports week. Be careful out there wherever you go. We'll see you again with another edition of First Person.